welcome to another wonderful day of government. Today we're going to be starting immediately, and previously we looked at what government is, and we looked at the basic concepts of power, authority, legitimacy, sovereignty, state, society, political culture, and socialization. And those are what we did the last time. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at forms of government. Okay, no, I think we looked at arms of government. Okay, so let's look at forms of government today. That's what we're going to be looking at today. Okay, we have what we call democracy. Democracy, which is what we are supposed to be practicing here in Nigeria, democracy. And democracy is the system of government in which all qualified adult citizens share the supreme power directly or through their elected representatives. Democracy is a system of government based on popular consent, and it has the following features. For you to say that a country is having democracy, there must be regular and periodic elections. Very, very important. Number two, there must be principles of the rule of law in the constitution and its observance. So there must be principle of rule of law. And that's why when you come to Nigeria, when the president does some things, you see people saying that this is not a dictatorial kind of leadership, that is democracy, because there has to be rule of law, there has to be regular elections, and majority rule in the country. For every democracy, there is always majority rule. And there is also respect for the rights of the minority groups. Everybody is respected. You can't, because you're majority, you start treating others wrong. So that is very important. And there's also equality before the law. Everybody is equal before the law under democracy. Okay. Now let's look at the importance, merits and demerits, important advantages and disadvantages of democracy. Number one advantage is that it promotes political participation. It makes, because it's a democracy, there is election, everybody votes. It's not military dictatorship where some group of people put somebody to become the head of the government. In democracy, everybody, you vote. There is what we call participation, political participation. You get your voter's card, you go and vote. So your votes are counted and you are participating in the electoral process in bringing about the person that is supposed to be the leader. So it promotes political participation. Number two is that there is legitimacy, because majority is the people that majority choose who becomes the leader. Then there is legitimacy, because majority, anything majority says, there is public support, there is majority, and that affirms the legitimacy of the person that is leading. Then there is also choice of political leadership. The electors are given the opportunity to elect leaders. So those are the advantages of or merits of democracy. Then what are the disadvantages of democracy? How about called representatives? The representatives of the people may be representing their own interest and not the interest of the people. Just like what we have in the National Assembly in Nigeria. You see senators, they are talking about buying cars for themselves, talking about renovating the Senate building with billions of naira, whereas people are suffering. Go to the hospitals are not having what they are supposed to have. You see some group of people representing, they are supposed to represent the interest of the general populace, but they are representing their personal interest. And that's what we call, that's one of the disadvantages of democracy, where you have the people. This is not a fundamentally error in democracy, but error in the caliber of people that we elect. They are supposed to be there representing the interest of the general populace and not their personal interest. And in case if you're elected tomorrow to go into the house, whether it's State House of Assembly or Federal, know that it is a prerogative for you to represent the interest, general interest of the people that elected you and not your personal interest. They will also have inadequate political education. So when there is not enough education, you see people come and bribe, and people will go and vote for the wrong person. So you can see majority giving the vote to a wrong person because of bribe and because of what they are being told. and not because of the legitimacy. So there is problem of education. People need to be conscientized on the voting and so that they vote the right person. Now let's look at the second form of government, known as oligarchy. Oligarchy. So this may be defined as government ruled by a few privileged and powerful people. Oligarchy is a form of government that is ruled by few privileged and powerful people. This form of government is selfish one because such government rules only for the benefit of those few people in power. So oligarchy, very important. In your JAMB, you're going to see which of the following is the type of government ruled by privileged few and powerful people. So you should know that it is oligarchy. Then there's also another form of government known as aristocracy. And this is the government by the best and most qualified people in the state, or by those seen as superior citizens to whom people look upon for leadership. It is a government by the privileged few as well, or by the nobles. Aristocrats are nobles, people that you look at them as, you look up to them, and you feel that they have the qualities of being leaders. So it's not also democracy, because in democracy, everybody votes. So anybody can emerge as the leader and not some nobles. Okay, what are the merits of aristocracy? Aristocracy is not a game of numbers. It is emphasizes on quality of the ruler rather than the quantity. Okay, it is government by the best citizens. It is ruled by able and unselfish minority, in contrast to the rule by selfish minority in oligarchy. So aristocracy is actually better than oligarchy, because in oligarchy you have few people that are not, they might not be quality leaders, but in aristocracy you have few quality leaders leading. Then what are the merits or disadvantages of aristocracy? It is not democratic, since authority is not derived from the people, even though it is exercised in the interest of the state, but it is not democratic. And government is controlled by few. Thus, aristocracy limits opportunity for political participation. Okay, so let's continue. Now, we have another form of government known as monarchy. Monarchy. So monarchy may be defined as a form of government under the rule of a king or queen or emperor, just like what we have in the United Kingdom in Britain, where the queen is the leader. So called as such monarchy. And we remember that Prince Philip just died. So our heart warms our regards to the family. And may his soul rest in perfect peace. So in Britain, they have what we call monarchy. They are ruled by the king. And this monarchy kind of leadership, there is not only even in Spain, they have it. So rulership by the king or queen or emperor is known as monarchy. In some countries, the monarch is the sole ruler and has the absolute authority. What are the merits and demerits? Monarchy brings about political stability because of the national descent and conferment of sovereignty in a single ruler. Okay, brings about political stability because you don't question the authority of the monarch. So there is stability. Everybody just have to obey and conform to what is going on. It can easily adapt to emergency situation, as the monarch, especially absolute monarch, need not consult anyone before making any decision. National loyalty is encouraged because the obedience to the monarch is seen as the obedience to God. And the monarch is a historical and spiritual figure. Just like you have the Sultan of Sokoto, very, very respected. And we have demerits. What are the disadvantages of monarchy? Monarchy does not accept the principles of popular sovereignty. A monarch could be a depot as good intentions, ability, and good conduct are not hereditary. So you might have a monarch where the parents were very good leaders, and you can have a child or the offspring not being a good person. But because you know that monarchy is hereditary, you hand over. So you can hand over to somebody that is not qualified to be the leader of the state. So the defined right of a monarch makes their subject passive participants in the political system. And most public officials in the monarch are not elected. So finally, we also have a form of government known as republic. Very important. The republican government is that which has an elected head of state by the people. So the head of state is elected by the people in a republican government. This means that the sovereign state is referred to as the republic if the country has no traditional ruler or its representative as its head of state, but with the one chosen by the people, with fixed term of office. Such head of state is known as the president in a republic. So the president may be the executive president or the ceremonial president. So in a republic is as opposed to monarchy. So features of a republic, the head of state, known as the president, is elected by the people. Not monarchy, it's not by hereditary, it's not inherited. A republic must be politically independent. Members of the legislature in a republic are directly elected by the people. The function of the government in a republic are performed by officials and not traditional rulers. A republican constitution is entirely homemade, and there exists political and legal equality in the republic. Okay, we've looked at arms of government. This is where we're going to be stopping under forms of government. In subsequent classes, we're going to be doing an entirely new thing, uh, which is structures of government. So thank you. See you when I see you.